Yo, what's good everyone? Coach E here, coming to y'all with another YouTube video out here in Johnny O's Gym in Boca Raton, South Florida. Today's gonna be a little bit different, right? We've been talking a little bit about common exercises to help build your muscles for the last couple videos. Today, I'm gonna give you my top 10 tips for if you're a high performer, which I'll explain what that is in just a second, how you can get more active and more healthy, have an overall better lifestyle for you to kind of accomplish your fitness and wellness-based goals. And of course, if y'all enjoy this video as always, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, feed the algorithm gods. I really appreciate y'all. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so first off, we gotta talk about what exactly is a high performer. So kind of the way that I define it is, this is someone who is extremely busy in life, right? They're usually a very confident, driven, hardworking individual, and they got a lot of parts of their life checked off, right? They're a phenomenal parent, a boyfriend or girlfriend, a really good friend, they're crushing in their career, but because they're doing at least one, if not more things very, very well, their fitness kind of falls off the cliff and they haven't been active for a long time because, well, they're just busy crushing life in other ways, and so they're looking to improve their health and fitness. And this is kind of where most of my clients fit into, right? Very high-performing individuals, people like doctors, lawyers, physical therapists, people who are very busy, very high-performing, and even some college students or high school students that are very high-performing as well. And they just need some assistance with getting fitness and wellness kind of component of their life integrated better, so that way they can have a more holistic life. And these people kind of also have three main things going on. First is they're just generally maybe not in the best of shape, or at least not in the best of shape by their standards, right? A lot of them maybe were former athletes growing up, and so, yeah, they don't seem super out of shape, on the face value, but they're like, I'm really not where I want to be. I want to get back to the shape that I was in. That's kind of the first bucket of people. The second is, they're people who have just gained quite a bit of weight over the years because, again, they're not very active. They're focused on career and family, and that's really all they have dedicated time to, and so kind of their weight has kind of fallen off to the side and they want to get better with overall their body composition. And of course, what comes with both of those is usually some kind of pain and injury, whether it's lower back pain, or maybe they had a knee surgery, or their shoulder really bothers them. Whenever they try to work out, there's usually some kind of nagging pain or injury that is relatively chronic over the last couple of years or most of their life. And so because of their lifestyle and because they're focused so highly on their career and family, which is awesome, but they haven't given enough attention, time, energy, and resources to their fitness and their body and their overall wellness, it's kind of gone off to the side here. So those are some of the common issues that I see with this kind of population. Okay, now that you know what a high performer is exactly, let me go over again my top 10 tips. If you are someone who's a high performer, you know someone who is, how you can start focusing on getting yourself active, getting yourself more in the gym, and living an overall better lifestyle that you want to live for your mind, for your body, to be a more complete person. The first tip that I'm going to give, and with high performers, they can fall into one or the other bucket. One is they have, when they get working out, they don't really want to do much at all because they haven't worked out in a long time and it's very difficult, understandable. The other one I'm going to talk about is learning how to check the ego, right? We get into the gym, we're really motivated, we're really excited to get active, right? We want to incorporate and go as hard in the gym as we do with our work and our life. But of course, if you haven't worked out in a long time, that may not be the best way to go about it, right? You might be more prone to getting very sore because you haven't been in the gym so long. There may be a greater risk of injury because you just push yourself really, really hard. And so I would say, don't go so hard in the very beginning. The first 2 to 4 weeks, a month is really a good indicator. Ease yourself back into the gym. It doesn't have to be crazy workouts. You don't have to go 5-6 days a week. Just gradually go in so you can start getting some small wins under your belt. And that's going to serve you a lot better and help you not get hurt or burnt out in the long run. Second point, don't try and make multiple changes all at once with adopting this healthier lifestyle. What do I mean by that? Just kind of off the top of my head, there's like 4 main things that you work to change when you're trying to be healthier. It's your exercise, your diet and hydration, your sleep, and your stress, right? Those are just to name a few. That's 4 things right there. On top of if you have a husband or wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, if you're working a job, you got a side hustle, plus social life and engagement, plus whatever hobbies you have, that's a lot of stuff, right? I say focus on one thing first, right? Usually the exercise, maybe after you get
some consistency with the exercise, then layer on the diet, and the other stuff should follow suit as like a natural progression. But on week 1, day 1 of your new exercise journey, don't be like, well, now I got to meal prep and I got to track my sleep by buying this new fancy watch and I have to do some stress management. Like, you're going to get overwhelmed probably very quickly. And on top of that, with your workouts, don't feel like you have to go crazy and change them all the time. Again, you want to do things that are gradually more challenging week to week, not going overboard from the jump. Number 3 is do what's practical, not what's perfect when it comes to your workouts. Again, kind of similar to point 1 and 2, where it's like you feel like you have to go 5 days a week and do your cardio and your strength training, and it's got to be 90 minutes. Yes, ideally, if we had all the time in the world, all the resources, there's a way we can make our workouts more intelligent, maybe a little bit better suited for your goals. But again, being more practical, which ultimately will make you more consistent and feel better over time, it's what's going to lead to long-term success. So if practicality means you work out at home, or you go to a gym that's a little bit closer, or you use equipment that feels better for you, or you just put yourself in a position like you go at a time that makes sense to you, not trying to force yourself into a certain time frame because you think you have to do that for yourself. The more practical and convenient and consistent things are, the better it's going to be than trying to be perfect, because there's going to come a day where you aren't perfect, right? Maybe you get everything perfect for the first 2 or 3 weeks. That's awesome, right? But then what happens when you miss that one workout or you mess up on that one meal and then you feel like it's not worth it anymore, right? Be as practical, consistent as possible. Point number 4, kind of going off that again, is make the workouts fit your schedule, right? So it's got to fit your time of day, right? Some people think you have to go to work out in the morning or you have to do it after work. It's whatever time fits you. And of course, making the workouts match the amount of time that you have. You do not have to be in the gym for an hour, hour and a half plus. If you have the time and you like that, awesome. I'm not going to tell you no. But if you are a parent and a spouse and you're someone who has all these other things, you can get an awesome workout in 30 to 45 minutes if you're on a time crunch, right? Don't feel like you have to have all this time. Make it match your schedule, and it can fluctuate day to day, week to week based on the demands of your life, right? Don't try and put a round peg in a square hole. Try and make it work best for you. Tip number 5, and this one is really huge, especially as you kind of get more into the long haul of this, right? The first couple of weeks you'll be very motivated, maybe in the first month or 2, but then there's going to come those times where you're not feeling very motivated, and it's good to have a social support or some kind of social network. This can come in the form of your partner, right? Your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. This could be your friends that are supporting you. This could be coworkers. This could be social groups online, maybe Facebook or Instagram groups, right? Whatever you need to help leverage support is going to be ideal. And that could be having a workout partner or doing workouts with your partner, so that way you are kind of pushing each other. Maybe doing activities that help your kids get active, or maybe when your kids are doing something extracurricular, you're also doing something, so maybe you have a small amount of downtime. Or again, using those groups as kind of motivation, because they kind of push you, they're kind of showing their progress in their workouts, and that fuels you in a positive way. So finding a support group is going to be huge for the long-term success. The next one, number 6, is making small changes in your exercise routine week to week. If y'all been here before, you know that my company is called the SHIFT method, right? A shift is a gradual incremental change over time. My philosophy on coaching, on wellness kind of fits that mindset, where you should really only make a small change or 2 every single week, right? You don't want to do things crazy and change your exercise, your sets, your reps every single week, but also you don't want to keep everything exactly the same all the time. Maybe in the first week you do 2 sets of every exercise, and the second week you do 3 sets. Maybe you add a couple reps, maybe you shorten the rest time, maybe you go up in weight slightly, right? Find a small way to push yourself just a little bit extra than you did last week, and now you can make a good gradual progression over time that's going to support you in the long term. Number 7, and this one may sound silly, whenever I tell people this, they kind of get a confused look on their face, but it's do fitness activities that you enjoy. And I'm going to preface this by saying enjoy does not necessarily mean easy, right? Enjoyment can come from feeling accomplished. Maybe you just find the activity you do fun, right? You got to find something that makes you want to go work out, want to be active, because the more you enjoy something, the more likely you are to do it. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to enjoy every single session, every single rep, but the more you can kind of sneak in those things you enjoy, the more consistent you're going to be overall. So for example, if you're trying to get some cardio in and you hate walking or you hate going for runs, Well, maybe you can play pickup soccer or basketball at the park for 30 to 45 minutes once or twice a week. Or if you really don't like doing heavy weight training, just doing one exercise at a time, maybe you find that doing supersets or circuits really excites you and you like kind of the intensity and the rush that you get from it. So you can structure your workouts different ways as well. Whatever it is, or if it's a particular exercise, find out what it is and structure it in a way that you can do those things as much as possible, so that way you actually get excited to show up to the gym. Number 8 is make it a lifestyle, not a fad. What I always like to tell my clients is that fads fade over time, right? Yes, you can leverage fads sometimes to get some very short amount of motivation, right? You see this squat challenge or this cool new fitness modality, and that's fun and all, but is it gonna last? Is it gonna carry you for the long haul to where you can consistently be an active person, focus on their health and well-being for 10, 15, 20, 30 years plus, right? So finding ways, again, to make it more of a lifestyle, make it more of a habit, leveraging fads every now and again as motivation, but not making the bulk of your health and wellness experience purely focused on fads is definitely gonna be the way for success. Number 9 is make sure your workouts are scheduled. The best way I say it is imagine like you're going on a date with yourself, right? You know, I'm super type A when it comes to my scheduling and making sure that I have things down. I know my videographer over here is laughing because every time we meet up, I always send her a calendar invite. I am a Gmail fiend, okay? I even have my breakfast, lunch, and dinner scheduled. And even though I don't follow it per se, and that may sound a little weird that I do that, but what it does is it at least gives me like a reminder and a cue that these are things that I have made the commitment for myself to do. I have my workouts on there, I have my client schedule, I have my general work schedule, I have important dates like birthdays and events. Everything's on my calendar, so I know that I have intention to do it, or at least acknowledge that I'm gonna do it or try to get it done. And so for my high performers out there, I know with your job, you probably use scheduling, you probably use Outlook or Gmail or whatever it is. And so you are able to stay on a schedule and honor things like meetings and business proposals and deadlines on a calendar. Why don't you do that for yourself? Why don't you make a commitment to yourself and say, these are the 2 to 3 times a week that I'm going to set aside and prioritize me, right? And it's your schedule. You do it when you want. Again, going back to that previous tip, make it convenient for you, right? So I'm gonna make sure that I'm setting aside time for myself every single week. And last but not least, it doesn't hurt if you can to hire a professional. Listen, I'm no accountant. I have an accountant that helps me with my business and my resources. I'm no videography expert. I can, make some okay posts on social media here and there, but it's gonna take me 2 hours. That's why I got Mariah, my awesome videographer. I'm definitely not cutting my own hair. That's why I have a barber, right? We offload expertise to people because you can't be an expert at everything, right? And so if you find yourself struggling, you're like, you know what, maybe I kind of got this thing down, but God, would it be easier if someone took care of the programming and the nutritional guidance and the accountability and support? Well, why not consider hiring a coach? Someone who can be in your corner, someone who can help hold you accountable for all these other 9 tips that we gave you. And so that way you can make sure that you're on the right path and ultimately moving forward towards your health and fitness, and take away some of the stress to where it's not all on you. You got a partner in your corner that's helping you out. And that's it, y'all. I hope you found that helpful. Hey, if you're a high performer, let me know in the comments below which one of these tips you think is gonna be most beneficial for you. And also, maybe if you're willing to share, what are some barriers that you feel like get in the way of you being active, living a healthy lifestyle? I would love to hear from y'all. And of course, y'all know we got daily content on the socials. If you wanna come train with me, y'all know you can just click the Take Action button on my website, theshiftmethod.org, or just send me a DM on Instagram. Would love to give you a free session out here in Boca Raton. Or if you're not in the South Florida area, I can work with you virtually as well to take care of all your programming and nutrition needs. And as always, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.